أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما كان المؤمنون لينفروا كافة فلولا نفر من كل فرقة منهم طائفة ليتفقهوا في الدين ولينذروا قومهم إذا رجعوا إليهم لعلهم يحذرون صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين. I bear witness that without Allah there is no God. I bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is the last, the final messenger of Allah, after whom no prophet, old or new, will come. And I begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the state of the world, the state that the world is in today, everyone has some kind of concern. Nationally, internationally, with regards to religion, with regards to economics, education, social behavior, social interaction, and even interpersonal relationship and personality, each and every person's own personality, their issues, their challenges, their problems. No doubt there are those who are trying to find solutions. The main focus nowadays is that the science is trying to discover ways to deal with so many issues, economic issues, medical issues. A lot of research is going on, and people all over the world, after all, the world has about approximately 8, less or more, billion people, and there are people all over the world who are pursuing some kind of way in dealing with the issues that confront human beings, the environment, and so many things. But basically, there are those who think differently and think that the problem of the world is economics. That is, some people are rich and some people are poor. Others think that the problem with the world is politics, that there are certain groups that seek to have power over others, and that is causing the problems in the world. But mainly, quite a lot of people are of the opinion that religion is in fact one of the major issue in bringing about the cause of the troubles that human beings experience nowadays. Now, there are two approaches to that. One is that some people think that religion is the cause of the problems, and some people think just the opposite, that religion is the solution to the problems. And so there are those who think that religion is the source of the problem, that are trying to destroy religion and trying to turn people away from religion, or let them practice their religion privately or in some insignificant way that it doesn't affect the rights of others and the well-being of others and how others think and function. On the other hand, there are those who think that religion, the rights of and the pursuit of religion is important, and so governments are now investing quite a lot of money in the protection of religion and churches and places of worship and so on. But those who promote religion and think that this is a solution to the world, they have different approaches. We are more concerned about what should be the approach of Muslims and the religion of Islam. It is one thing to say, yes, we follow the religion of Islam, but it is another to say, what can this religion do, not only for us, but also for the future of humankind, the future of the world. And so in the Quran, in the verse that I've recited in Arabic, I translate as follows. It says, those who are firm in faith must not proceed as a group. Instead, let some persons from each section of them group together to apply themselves in learning about human personality development and organize their people in their duties, about their duties on returning to them, so that they would exercise care. Now, this verse of the Quran refers to two things. It refers first of all to the responsibility of Muslims in making the world a better place. And it also tells us the responsibility of the individual, each and every one who follows the religion, in making themselves, or each one of themselves, a better human being, a better person. But it starts off with, first of all, that we should learn more about our religion. We should go off in groups and propagate our religion. Why is that put first before personality development? Obviously, because of a better human, what is needed to make me a better human being. If we look at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, we would see that there were about 360 religions. Each religion had their own idols. Some would worship 2 or 3 idols or more. And perhaps they were even more than that. The Kaaba was the symbol of all kinds of religious ideas, but yet still it was the worst group of nation on the face of the earth at the time. The Quran describes that as the worst of people, in spite of religion, or sometimes because of religion. So the first thing that Allah did is to send the Prophet Muhammad with the guidance. And we are here celebrating that and commemorating that guidance in the month of Ramadan, because it was first revealed in the month of Ramadan. That guidance was given firstly in the month of Ramadan. And it was repeated in every Ramadan during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad. Now, how did the Prophet Muhammad operate in propagating religion? He started by telling his own family what was revealed to him. He started by organizing groups of people that they would worship together, teach them, educate them. But he would also teach them that they can go and visit the pilgrims who came to Makkah and tell them about the oneness of God, tell them about religion. In other words, the propagation of Islam started from then. So much so that the opponents of Islam, some of them the family members of the Prophet himself, opposed them. And they would seek them out and punish them. They would kill some of them. I needn't go into some of the atrocities, some of the cruelties that were given to these companions of the Prophet Muhammad, who were striving to teach people about goodness and good behavior in order to solve the problems of crime, in order to solve the problems of war and hatred and hostility and enmity and lack of rights for women and children and the poor and others as well. So that the Quran says here, it imposes upon us, it gives us a responsibility that we can't go all out together. It's not possible for everybody to move together to carry this religion of Islam. But it is important, and the Quran says instead, let some people from each section of them, each mosque, each Jamaat, each organization, each country, let a section of them group together to apply themselves in learning. So the Quran is enjoining upon us here, it's encouraging us that there are some people who should come and try to learn about the religion. In other words, encouraging missionary work. But missionary doesn't mean a paid missionary. Each and every person can be a missionary. A young person can be a missionary. A woman can be a missionary. An elderly person can be a missionary. Because you carry the mission by not only words, but by action and behavior as well. So the Quran says, learn about how religion can impact upon your life. Learn about what are the rules and responsibilities. Learn about the affairs of the world. Why the world is in this state as it is in, where there is so much of crime that it affects each and every one of us in every country, in every religion, in every race. We find that crime is rampant. People depend upon the politicians, depend upon the police force, depend upon their own security systems, their cameras, their dogs, their security, whatever, to protect them from crime, and it doesn't seem to work. In many parts of the world, people are killing each other, shooting each other, stabbing each other, robbing each other. All over the world, it's happening on a daily basis. In fact, there are more news about that than about goodness among people. So the Quran says here that they should learn about personality development, because that is the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is not merely to worship and to sing hymns and to say prayers and to sing bhajans and to have functions and all kinds of things. Those are important part of religion. They have a role to play. But the result of religion is that it must make us a better human being. That's why in the Quran, there are two words used for those who follow the religion of Islam. One is Muslim. Muslim means the act of submission to the will of God. Muslim means the one who seeks peace. So that a Muslim is the action, the person who takes an action to be peaceful, to have a relationship with Allah. But the Quran says, don't say you're believers, mu'min is the other word used, but say you're Muslim, because faith has not entered into your heart. In other words, being a mu'min means the result of your submission. I am a Muslim that I accept God, but I'm a mu'min because it results in me being one who trusts in Allah, one who has confidence in Allah, one who is satisfied with all that God has given me, and I'm prepared to make full use of what He has given me. So the Quran says here in this verse, مَا كَانَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, that those who are firm in faith. Muslim means one who takes action to believe. Mu'min means one who has strengthened that belief and firm in your faith. So it says that those who are firm in faith have a responsibility. And the responsibility is not to proceed as a group, but everybody has to do it. But instead, let some people from each section, from the male, from the female, from the youths, from the seniors, from the neighborhood, let each one, each group, anywhere, should pursue, should apply themselves in learning about religion, learning about the purpose of religion and the impact and the effect of religion, and what causes religion to make people good and what also causes religion to make some people function bad, because there's no doubt about it. You don't find crooks and robbers and thieves only among one faith system. You find Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Jews, atheists. You find good people among them, and you find crooks and robbers among them as well. But the Quran says here that the responsibility of those who pursue and apply themselves in understanding and learning about religion is that they should organize their people in their duties when they return to them. So you pursue that religion, you take courses, you take classes, you spend some time, you do some research, and then you come back and you organize people so that they would exercise care. They would be careful about their duties and responsibilities as to how to live a good person and how to protect themselves from evil ones. Now, one of the things we find in religion is that many people are concerned about their own salvation. Religion must make me a good person. I'm satisfied, myself, my family. We are following the best religion. We are following Islam. We are following Christianity. We are following Hinduism. We are following Judaism, Buddhism, whatever religion we are following. But what about the future generations? What are we doing for the future generation? Is there a guarantee that the way in which we live will go on for generations? There are several prayers in the Quran. Abraham says, "My Lord, let there from among my generations people will be submissive to you." The Quran says, "Rabbi jalni muqima salati," make me upkeep prayer. "Wa min zuriyati," and my offspring too, my generations to come. And other verses of the Quran that says that indicate that we should be concerned about the future generation. One verse of the Quran says, "Be careful of what you send forth for tomorrow." Now look at it from a practical point of view. We have children, we have grandchildren, some people may have great-grandchildren, and even if you don't see those generations, there'll be great, and other grandchildren coming on. What assurances do we have that they will follow a system of religion, whatever religion it may be, that will make them good people? And what does it take to set up those systems? If we look at our own forefathers, many of us, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents were Muslims. Whatever they did in the small contributions they made in attending to mosques, in building mosques and so on, we have benefited. We are today now carrying on that tradition in providing facilities for our younger generation, improving our mosque facilities, improving the educational facilities for the future generations by using the technology that we have, not only here, but even in different parts of the world. But think for a moment. If a person has certain resources, it can be a business, it can be a home, it can be knowledge and wisdom, and you don't cater for the future generations, what happens to all your efforts and time that you have put up in building your business, in acquiring that education? I'm speaking more so about religious education, and in setting up all the sacrifices that your parents and grandparents may have made, and then you see that your own offspring, as time goes on, either abandon religion, they become pursued, they may carry on the business but have nothing to do with religion, they're too busy, or they may fall in love, be married into a different religion, and Islam does not forbid that. But they are required to carry on the religion for the purpose of making better human beings. Not for the purpose of merely saying I'm a Muslim, but for the purpose of making my future generations better human beings, because I see Islam as having value in making human beings better human beings. That is why I want to follow it. That is why I spend my time and my effort. But we have to, as the Quran says, spend out of what we have given you. We will see in today's world that there are many people who are concerned about their religion and spending. They spend their time, they spend their effort, they spend their money in trying to get people to follow their religion because they feel that what they believe in and what they promote will make the world a better place. But it may not necessarily be so. I have seen and I've read and I've heard of many people who pursue one religion or the other, trying to develop their religion, but it doesn't result in people being better human beings. I have heard in another location here in our own country, where people were very ardent churchgoers, yet still committing murder. I have read of people who were prominent pastors having spas all over the world and involving themselves in, sexual abuse, and some of them in fraud, and all kinds of things. So it doesn't mean that because people have mega churches or huge churches, or they have millions in oil money or so, that they are actually behaving in the way in which they are supposed to behave in their own religion, whether it is in Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Europe, America, and whatever religion they may follow. We see there are some who are trying to pursue Indian nationalism, which is their right, but perhaps at the expense of others. There are those who are trying to promote Christianity, or those who are trying to promote Islam, but in order to wipe out other people or people of other faith systems. Whatever they follow in religion is not pursuing a path that is making human beings better. Instead of promoting peace, they are promoting hostility. How should we resolve this issue? There are several groups that are out in promoting religion and use the methods that they have to try to encourage people to come to their church, as the Prophet Muhammad did. One of these, of course, is, let's say, the Jehovah's Witness. You see them going house to house with their literature. They would call on people. They will tell them about their faith. Now, one of the things about their faith is that they believe that only this world will be destroyed and only 144,000 people will be saved. They don't know if they will be among that, because there are billions of people in the world, and I don't know those who came before. There will be billions as well. But they are making the effort to try to bring people, and they are faced with difficulties. They are excommunicated by many of the mainstream churches. They are banned by certain governments. They are not allowed to sell their literature. They can give it away free and ask for a donation, but they are making an effort to promote what they believe to be true. You don't, or you hardly see Muslims doing that. Promoting the ideas and the concepts that they have. Of course, the easy way off is using the internet, using the media and resources, and we get across the promotion of our ideas. But on a person-to-person basis, that is hardly done. Recently, within the last perhaps 40 years or so, Jehovah's Witness has been there for a long while. Seventh-day Adventists and other organizations and many Pentecostal and evangelist churches within the last 100 or 200 years have developed compared to the mainstream Roman Catholic, Anglican, Methodist and other Baptist and other faith systems. But recently, within the last 40 years, a new church has arisen in the Christian world that is called Shincheonji. It was founded in Korea, and it started with just a few people. Again, they were persecuted by their own people, by their own Christian churches. Today, the organization has over 350,000 people all over the world, from all races, all cultures. And one of the things that they do is they train people to pick up their phone or to use WhatsApp and call up people and talk to them in a nice way and invite them to some of the courses and classes that they have. And then they will put their ideas and their concepts. And of course, they said there's no compulsion. Many of the things that they say are in accordance with the teachings of Islam. There's no compulsion. La ikraha fi din, no compulsion in religion. But one of the major points is that in this particular church, there's a belief that the original founder of the church is what is known as a promised pastor. That the Bible promises that a pastor will come who will interpret the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible that speaks of the end times, that speaks of these days, and he is the only one to be able to interpret this. Therefore you have to come to him in order to understand what the teachings of Revelation are, in order to find that salvation. And they also believe in the 144,000 people will be saved, but they also believe that there's a tier below that of many tribes and multitudes who will also benefit from this teaching. So they are a little different from the Jehovah's Witnesses in that they are not exclusive, but they are all inclusive, but at different levels. Now, this may seem to be unknown to many people. This may seem to be even irrelevant. But what if your offspring is on the internet and receives or is communicated to by any one of these churches and is indoctrinated into some of these ideas and concepts you wouldn't even know? You may not even know. In fact, in some countries, this Sinchongji church is an interpretation of Christianity, and they have been accused by the other Christians of taking away their people. There are reports of some people give up their jobs because of this. And parents are complaining, when our children join that church, we don't see them again. They are taken away, trained to build the church itself, bringing more members, and they're very well dressed, speak nicely, they're communicating with religious leaders all over the world, having conferences, having meetings, and virtually exhorting you to be part and parcel of their mission. All of this may appear to be very good, but there's one question we have to ask ourselves. And that is, yes, no doubt, these people may claim to be interpreters of the Bible, but who appoints them? How did this person suddenly decide, I am the one to be able to interpret Scripture? And people accept these individuals. In many churches, they accept people who interpret, whether among Muslims, Hindus, Christians, people come as big gurus, as swamis, and they preach their religion, and people run behind them because they find they have good ideas. You find many Mulvis and Maulanas visit countries, you see them on the internet with thousands of people, they make themselves popular. But what authority do they speak with? There is none. It is their own research, and they sometimes feel the more they could condemn other faith systems or even other Muslims, the more popular they are. I can call so many names that I am fully aware of, among Shias and among Sunnis especially. But here we have one man, one individual, who came and said that I am from God. I am from Allah. Allah has sent me to interpret the Quran and promote religion in the way in which He wants it to be promoted, giving you the freedom to interpret it and carry this mission forward. The Mujaddid of the 14th century, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. That is the criterion of determining the truthfulness and the outcome of all of these different faith systems that are there, which may contain very good ideas and very good intention, but it is not the intention of Allah. Allah wants more than that. He wants our moral and spiritual development, and He wants the world to be a better place. Not a group of people, whether 350,000, whether 1 million people, whether thousands of people. He wants human beings to be subservient to Him. وَمَا خَلَقْتَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنَّ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. All I want is that people to worship me, not to follow a church, not to increase in wealth. I want people to be subservient to me for their own benefit, that they would become imbued and filled with the attributes that I possess, They will be loving people, they will be kind, they will be charitable. And this is why it is so important to understand the role and function of the Ahmadiyya movement. And we have to really be serious about spending in the way of Allah so that these ideas can get forth to the world for not only ourselves now, not only as we get older and faced with issues in life as health and so on, and then we know how religion is so important for us to give us the strength of character, to give us patience, to give us guidance, to give us the empowerment of through prayer, to be able to deal with financial issues, health issues, and issues within our home and family and community. It is so important, but we have to spend. The Quran tells us, spend out of what we have given you. And you see a successful community, a successful church, a successful country when they spend for what they believe in. If they believe in democracy or politics, if they believe in religion, if they believe in war even, they spend on it billions, because that's their belief. Whatever we believe in, we must be able to spend so that is a vehicle for carrying on for future generations. Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Quran al-Azim wa nafa'ana wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikr al-hakim innahu ta'ala jawadun kareem malikun barrur rahufur rahim. Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa nashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma ansur man nasara deen Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam waj'alna minhum. Allahumma aghzul man qazala deen Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa la tarjalna minhum. Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli wal ihsani wa ita'i zil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal baghi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkurun. Uzkurullaha yazkurkum wad'uhu yastajib lakum wa la zikrullahi ala akbar.